office staff just asked me if I'm vlogging today because she saw myself on socials. Shame, but also I am.
You read that right. I bought my kids a Lego meth lab. Wow, here it is. That looks awesome.
Another thing that caught my eye just quickly. It is NAIDOC week. This is, I call it Black Christmas in July. This is the time of the year that we in the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community reflect on our strength, our survival, celebrate what's happening and celebrate some of the figures in our community who are doing incredible things. I encourage all people who live on the continent of Australia to do exactly the same thing because it's something for all of us to be proud of. We have so many. Made it to UNSW for this first NAIDOC event of the week. Traffic was pretty easy. School holidays makes a big difference. And parking was easy too. Really looking forward to this one. I was invited to UNSW by their student group Little Sister Big Sister. It's a collective of all the amazing young Aboriginal women who study there, and they organise this community event to celebrate NAIDOC. It was a seriously special conversation. I got to sit on a panel with the one and only Adam Goods, an incredible Aboriginal woman named BJ, and a young Aboriginal man named Jordan. It was such a beautiful conversation to be a part of. And unsurprisingly, Goodsy was so inspiring in the wisdom he shared. BJ, who works in out-of-home care and is really fighting for our kids, was unbelievable. But there was something really special in having the panel bookended by Jordan, who's 23, and Lilliana, who is the lovely young sis who invited me to come along, who was hosting it. The NAIDOC week theme is the future generations, and I feel like I was looking at the future generation either side of me as they had these incredible conversations and reflections on who they are, who they want to be, and where they're going. I didn't film much after Monday. I had 2 more NAIDOC events for more corporate settings on Tuesday and Wednesday before I was straight into game 1 of NRLW round 2. The Bulldogs got it over the Tigers in Campbelltown. Didn't really film anything at that game because 1, we were so freezing, it was hard to function, and 2, I always get pretty exhausted after more corporate style NAIDOC events just because it's a lot of emotional load, which is exactly why you see me here enjoying a sauna at Bathhouse in Cronulla. NRLW round 2. It is actually Friday. Last night I was at the Bulldogs v Tigers game in Campbelltown. I also loved that resilience we saw from the doggies. You know, it's no surprise to anyone who I'm going for this season. I think the biggest story out of it, though, was Tucker getting into that fight with Jatea Faifua. But right now, it's about 4:55 p.m. on Friday. I had a very slow start to the day. I got to do a sauna. Then I hopped on the train. Now I'm at Triple J. Just took a Zoom meeting with the impact strategy guys for my documentary, Skin in the Game, on SBS On Demand. Go and watch it. Now I'm starting to do some prep for my game in Canberra tomorrow. I actually have a way quieter footy weekend than usual, which is a bit freaky. It's because there's quite a few women's games that are out of Sydney. And I thought that I could just get away with doing basically nothing today. It's gone out the window. Anyway, I'm back. I'm at Triple J. Wow, look at my brain, how it just goes. Doing the Shake Up, which, if you don't know, that's Triple J Hacks Friday afternoon, half an hour show. It's usually 2 guests, often, you know, a journo and a comedian or a whatever the hell I am, professional fan. And I think the culture editor from The Guardian is coming on with me today. We talk about a couple of the biggest headlines from the week, have a bit of fun. Dave Marchese's host, legend of a man. And I've had to say no to him 1,000 times this year, so I was really happy to be able to say yes. This is a really great way to finish my week. It's now late Friday night and I've just packed my bag ready for my early flight tomorrow morning for another Canberra game, but I don't have to drive. I'm flying. Yes. And it will be the Raiders v the Sharks. The Sharks men just had a good win. The Sharks girls will be very desperate, but I do feel like the Raiders will be pretty tough at home. But I thought I'd show you what I put in my bag. My nice July tote bag. This thing is a lifesaver. I have a matching carry-on wheelie when I'm going for more than one day. Got an extra fold-up down puffer jacket from Uniqlo, which is honestly one of the great lifesavers. Pencil case, whole bunch of pens and highlighters for my notes. I have a turtleneck that I will wear on air that I'm taking with me. I just, don't want the neck rubbing while I can avoid it. Also have my whole makeup kit in this little bag just in case there's ever a drama again like last week, but I don't think there will be. And my pass, blah, blah, blah. And some of these bad boys. Hand warmers, sticky patches that keep you warm because it's gonna be so cold. Good morning. Let's go to Canberra. Just saw Dad be greeted by his 2 kids. He was crying. He was so happy. They had flowers and everything. It was so beautiful. Well, because I'm flying home tonight, I could just scan my return boarding pass straight away into the corner slot. So I literally got it from plane and walked straight back into the corner slot. Yeah, it's not cool. And then the drive to the stadium from here is about 15 minutes, so I'll leave here at 10:45. I've already done my hair. I did my own hair just because it's like a bit dirty, so I just pulled it straight back into a pony and I'll only be in makeup for like 20 minutes. Yeah. 12:30. Yeah, so I'll have my interviews at 12:07. So a big part of what you do for your research on players is stalk them on Instagram. So respectfully stuff like, oh, I'm stalking you because you're about to debut today and I've got to talk to you. I also get these statistic notes from the one and only David Middleton, which helps us know, all the history of like when the teams last faced each other, what the score was. It has all the player profiles of each player on both sides, and it is honestly like a Bible to keep us in check, so we know everything. Back again. Sun is shining way more than it was last week, but that wind is fresh. She's going to be cool. It's been an interesting game. Both the Raiders and the Sharks lost last week and were competition heavyweights last year. It was even cloudy last week. I love this orange coat. It's just from Zara. My favourite ever tailored pants that I have 2 pairs of are from Shona Joy. Another standard Uniqlo high neck with another thermal and a singlet underneath. And I've also got tights and socks.
Honestly wasn't expecting it to go that far, to be honest, but no, Littles and I actually kind of designed that one 3 years ago and none of us have ever scored in July.
Well, good afternoon to you too, Salty. What a difference a week's made at 13 degrees and only a slight breeze coming from the northwest. So benefiting the kick of the Sharks in this first half. I am sitting in the sunshine, as you said, and I couldn't be happier. I was completely wrong about that one. Sharks ended up nearly equaling their record for how many tries they've scored, which they actually broke originally down here in Canberra, but that time was against Parramatta. They were on fire. They looked so good. They looked like what they did at the beginning of last year, which is awesome. A bit knackered, but grateful because I get to sleep in tomorrow. I get to go home and have dinner and go to bed. Amazing. was seeing a lot of reports on my socials just as I was coming back about people talking about the failing of the AFLW and like players having to come out and basically advocate for the competition to continue. I have to keep getting into this. It's really disturbing me because the AFLW existing is good for the NRLW, is good for all domestic female league. I think there's also something in talking about the way that female leagues have to support each other. Obviously for us, we're on competing networks and blah blah blah, competing sponsors, etc., but I think within the playing group and within the fan base, like if you care about NRLW, you should care about AFLW, you should care about netball, you should care about WBBL, you should care about all the ways that female athletes are doing it and making a positive and the Matildas, right? Like all of them make a positive impact on each other and a positive impact on the next generation and what they believe is possible and also what their perception of what women can achieve is. So I'm really disappointed to see these kinds of reports. I think that it would be the most devastating thing to lose any of these female leagues that we have now, especially the AFLW, because it's such a national sport. So in my spare time, I think I'm going to have to start getting to some AFLW games and talking about it. Made it home, 12-hour day. She's very, very sleepy, but my weekend's sort of done. I'm gonna go for a big run. That's the only plans. Yes. Soak this up. Future, current. I need to soak this up because this is the quietest weekend I have until the end of the year. Whoa!